Welcome back. Different day.
Let's go.
And we are back for the Heavy Set podcast, guys. Second episode. Did you think we'd even be here?
Hey, we made it, team.
Yeah, we made
it. Let's
Right.
go. Let's keep pushing.
Come on.
Momentum is powerful. Let's roll with it.
Let's, we've had some feedback from some people already on the lines. A couple of messages, mainly from my cousins. Well, cousin. One guy, he doesn't work, so he's been listening to it. It's all right. It's cool. I won't shout out his name because he'll get boosted. But no, we have had a couple of different themes come out.
Oh,
so you know what I'm like. I'm not going to present you anything until I present it to you. You ready?
From the hip.
Straight away. You ready? I'm ready.
Go.
I'm loaded. I haven't brought you gifts today, but we can get out some bars in a bit.
Okay.
So here we go. What inspires you? We're going to go, what inspires you to do the things you do? We're talking about movies, music, just a kind of like soundtrack of your life. Just come on, share it. What is your favorite stuff to listen to watch to kind of get inspired by?
For me, music is everything.
Okay.
So music's everything. So I think whenever I take clients on, there's always the preamble. And it's usually a little bit about how we structure workouts, about timings, about the order of things. But the second part of that is about music. So I think I had this conversation this morning, had a new client start this morning. And I think if you find out what gets someone going workout-wise, what's your workout music? It's a good kind of insight into how their brain works, where they've been, their history, etc. So I'm a big music guy. I'm a big workout guy. Okay. So by dint of that, I'm a big music guy. And I think another good thing is get someone's Spotify likes playlist. Just all the song they've liked. So not put into the fancy columns. Just all the songs they've picked like. That's a good snapshot into their brain. Mine's broad, bro.
Go on. Where are you starting?
So
because you mentioned last time, you wake up early, properly early to go for your routine.
Yeah.
What music are you starting?
So for me, music and feel good factor go hand in hand. So all of the stuff that I like working out to is all of the stuff that makes me feel good. So we're going to go way back. So my grandparents, West Indians, Windrush generation, they've come here kind of in the early 50s, the 60s. And that kind of old school reggae, that's the soundtrack to their lives. So that kind of old school reggae, I can feel it with me. Like it makes me warm. So for some people, they need a bit more baseline, they need a bit more tempo. For me, I need to feel warm and cozy, and it just gives me that infinite capacity to kind of exert energy.
Yeah.
Then I think about my parents. My mum's a big kind of 70s soul sister.
Bit of Motown, what are we talking about?
Yeah, we've got some Motown. We've got some like kind of Minnie Riperton, Loving You, which is probably the best love song of all time.
Can you
check my Instagram?
Can you do it?
I would love to be able to
try
that.
the chorus?
I'm not going to ruin. Sure? I'm not going to pierce the ears of those sitting on trains.
Come on, bro.
Going for their morning walks. I'm not going to do it, JP.
You can see him in the car though, can't you?
Oh, yeah. Trust me.
If you suddenly turn the volume down, you'll be like, what?
I'm the sing-along king. And my kids still like, Dad, turn it down, etc. But kind of 70s smooth stuff. Minnie Riperton's, like I said, a big one. And then think about my own carefree days.
Yeah.
Remember when you were younger, life was loose. You had no responsibilities.
Yeah.
You just had to
good times.
Yeah,
remember those days?
Those days.
Long time ago, right?
So a standard. If you come and work out with me, JP, you'll know. Simon, you're going to learn. It's old school garage, bro. It's old school garage. It's Moschino trousers.
Yeah, two-step.
It's black suede loafers. It's two-step bass lines. I've only got 50 quid in my pocket, and that's what I'm going to spend the whole thing out tonight. I've got nothing else to worry about. We'll walk home.
Yeah.
And old school garage makes me smile because it brings me back to a time where there was just no worries.
You're going to tell me you're a heartless crew or So Solid?
Okay. So I've got love and appreciation for all the crews.
Yeah.
But my heart's with Heartless. If a rave was on, EZ, I'm going. Yeah. Norris the Boss, I'm going.
Yeah.
Heartless crew, I'm going. Some of my best experiences. Ali Pali circa 2002. Don't know if you were there.
I was there.
If you were there, you remember.
In the back.
There you go.
I was a geek, by the way. So
were you?
Like this, curly hair. I probably had like £7.50 in change,
You went in head to toe Moschino, a £400 Aviax jacket.
Yeah, but it was fake as well. It was all from Wembley Market.
Yeah. Big up Wembley Market. Special mention for Wembley Market.
Yeah, Wembley Market.
But yeah, yes.
North London, by the way, we've got South London.
We've got
she's still joining us.
Croydonian in the background.
No, she says she's something.
JP, she's going for your wallet over there. Quick. Sorry to anyone.
Guys, you can't see her, but yeah, South London morning again.
Yeah, music feel good factor. And I like to listen to the things that remind me of the good times. Old school reggae, old school garage, and a bit of funky soul.
So can we put some of those playlists on, some of our socials, just to
share?
100%. Maybe we can ask the people to share their
throw some in.
Yeah.
A heavy set playlist. I feel a concept growing.
It's funny though because it makes me whenever you because my missus she's Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yeah.
So she loves her reggae.
Loves it.
So if we've got we're working out, there's something comes on, a bit of a random reggae thing. She loves it.
Yeah.
Because I think it just, it's funny what you say because it brings that little bit of joy and happiness. And actually, these are cultures where it's just fun.
Yeah,
100%.
Right, and that it's just fun.
It's light and it's loose. We were in Jamaica very recently, and reggae being the soundtrack to every shop that I went in made me feel complete. I'm actually arguing I'm living out of context in this country. Didn't used to feel like that, but now I do. Big up the Jamaican crew. But yeah, that old school reggae, it throws me back to, it's a Sunday. I can smell rice and peas cooking. Mum's cane row in my hair, pulling it really tight. There's athletics on the telly. We've got people to say, so in West Indian homes, you never cook enough food. So you don't know who's coming, but you're going to be descended on. And that kind of anticipation and excitement that you're going to pile into your cousins and you're going to be running around. And that feeling is what the music gives me. And that's what lifts my spirit, man. That's what gets me there.
I like that. That's beautiful. I like that. Beautiful.
I like that.
So what are you saying? Come on. Give us size playlist.
Your time,
do you know what? Actually, growing up, music was a huge part of life for me, right? Yeah. I liked all the old Motown stuff when I was a young kid and growing up. But when I got into my teens, man, it was all like old school R&B.
Yeah.
And I was like,
come on.
I was like,
talk to me.
It's funny because my wife, she's still got tapes.
Yeah.
That I made her.
So you're going to have to explain what tapes are. Hold on. Let's just
don't glaze over that. Don't glaze over.
These are your mixtapes, JP.
No, we know
about the mixtapes.
Some of the people that might be listening are thinking, what is this guy talking about? Tapes?
Oh, yeah. Cassette. I might have to bring some in, but no, you know what? There was some mixtapes I made her when she was probably 16, 17 years old.
Wow.
And she's still got them.
That's awesome. Have you still got a cassette player to play them, by the way?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say.
She has in her car, though.
She's gone retro.
Yeah, she's gone very retro, but she won't let me get her a new one. So
I rate that.
Because she owns it, and that's
I rate that.
And in her eyes, look, she's not a materialistic person, nothing. So she's still got a tape player in her car. But no, she's still got these mixtapes, and I, being the artist I am, I do these little covers for the mixtapes and all this. But this was like, I'm going back years, and I was proper into my old school R&B, right? So I was listening to R. Kelly was big then, Leah, Keith Sweat, Teddy Riley, right? All the originals, like Teddy Riley was a big part of making New Jack Swing.
Yeah, big time,
influential.
And I remember I was working in Sainsbury's and I was like 16. I always had my Walkman with the cassette, of course. And people used to go, "What are you listening to?" And I'd say the names of people. They go, "Who's that? Who's that?" And you'd be like. And it was like kind of funny because even like someone like, R. Kelly, and I know he's not the greatest name around these days, but I was listening to him like when his Born Into the 90s album came out, right? Early, like in the 90s. And then, Bump and Grind, all that wasn't a big hit until much later on. Then they re-released. Yeah. She's got that 5 years after it was originally done and things like this, right? And then people started to get into R&B, right? Yeah. Which came into the garage scene a little bit as well. So I was listening, I kind of just found that. Just from, I don't know, I suppose when I was doing athletics, and I was like 12, 13, 14 years old, a lot of the friends, I ran for Enfield and Haringey, a lot of friends there were slightly different cultures, was into a bit of the same music. I got into it maybe through other people, and then all of a sudden you becomes like an obsession, 100%. Yeah, it does. And I still listen to all that music today. I still got, I've still got my it's a little bit different now. Do you remember? I used to make the mixtapes, right? Yeah. So I all the money I made, I had these little separates, so Marantz, separate, right? And I spent literally every penny I had on the CD player, the speakers,
Yeah.
and then the cassette recorder, so I could make the most awesome quality
I love
tapes
that.
to stick in my Alpine stereo that I'd
love
fitted in my
that.
Nova SR.
Did you have no boot space left in your Nova? Did you have the giant
You know
speaker
what?
there? Be
You know
honest.
I literally fit. I got this Alpine stereo. I bought it second hand of a friend of mine, right? And I got all these speakers, bits from Argos, bits from Halfords. I fitted everything myself. Everything was wired up. There was bits of masking tape holding things together.
Authentic.
Teeth vibrating under the bass line.
I had this white Nova SR.
Oh, come on.
Nova
Pick up the Nova
SRs,
We've
right?
got to talk about cars in a bit, don't we?
But the only thing was,
that's another episode.
Oh,
That's
gosh,
another
we've got to do that
episode.
one.
but the only thing I wanted the one with alloys, but I got the one with hubcaps.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's all cool. It's
Did
all
they
cool.
go
But I bet they looked like alloys.
Yeah, but
Did
they,
you put it in your hubcaps, I'll be
they
honest?
got stolen all the time.
Yeah, for
Before
sure.
one fell off, right? So you always ended up just with the cheap Halfords
Yeah,
hubcaps
yeah.
all the
Hubcap. I
time.
mean,
So-
hubcaps aren't a thing anymore. are they?
No, they're not.
Wow, man.
But
You know, listeners are thinking, what?
What are
is
these
this guy
lot
talking
talking
about?
Hubcaps,
This-
tape, cassettes.
This
Like,
conversation's for people of a
that's a
certain
whole-
vintage, for sure.
people be asking ChatGPT, what's a hubcap?
What is a hubcap? What's a tape pack?
What's a Nova?
Yeah.
And over SR.
Yeah.
Over SR, man, it's white.
Oh,
I
the
know,
muscle
right?
car.
I
White
love
as
them.
well. Yeah, it had the bumper that went all the way to the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah,
little Slick.
Man,
Thin little racing.
Aerodynamic.
Bucket seats. And I remember I was always a bit crooked because my bucket seat was like leg to the side. And then the actual, like that whole chair ended up like this.
Oh,
that's the
amazing.
lean, though. That's the lean. That's what it
Amazing.
is. It's
You know
all about
what?
the look.
That was a cool time though, man.
Yeah.
That
was a cool time.
And you know what? Then it went from I got a CD player,
Yeah.
and then you had a little book with all your CDs in
Oh,
it.
here
You
we
kept
go.
it in your
Yeah.
car.
Here we go.
You flick through your CDs. I had a big tower in my
Yeah.
bedroom, or 2 towers, all the
Oh.
CD collection.
Beautiful.
The VR, like the video tapes,
Yeah.
all stacked up,
Yeah,
all my
yeah,
Rocky,
yeah.
Star Wars, all the
I
different
think-
films.
I think we've got a reference the kind of the work that you needed to put in to access your music,
Mhm.
to access your
Oh,
movies.
man.
Right.
So now, listen, we live in a great age and everything's easy and convenient.
Yeah.
And every song I've ever heard in my whole life, it lives in my pocket on my phone,
Yeah.
on my Spotify page. So when I'm in the
Yeah.
car, I can play anything. And my taste is broad. But back in the day, on a Saturday, you had to put work in. So if you wanted that latest R. Kelly album, Snoop album, Snoop's first album, bro, is up there with the best albums I've ever heard in my life. And I can clearly remember walking into HMV as a kid that was far too young to be buying an album with
Of course.
such disgraceful lyrics and buying that album. And it was holding the album cover, looking at the artwork, kind of getting in the queue,
course.
reading the track list, paying for it, and that kind of bus ride home. They just like, I
course.
can't wait to put this on.
Yeah. This is
Waiting
it.
for dad to be out so I could pump it.
Yeah.
Every West Indian had speakers as big as like a grown man in their home, and I was waiting for dad to go out so I can blast it on his. And there was a real charm in the process of acquiring
Oh
music.
man, there was.
Yeah.
Least
There
of
was.
all listening
Yeah.
to
There
it.
was.
I think when we listen to these old tunes, part of it's remembering all of the legwork you put in.
Of course it is.
Some of those classic albums, right? Physically owning that album and
Yes.
having that
Oh.
in your CD collection
Oh,
was a big deal.
it was a big deal.
People would come round. You want to show it off? Yeah, man,
Yeah.
I've got that album.
Oh,
Man,
yeah,
I've got that
it's
album.
blah, blah. Yeah.
Well, remember,
I
you used to
was-
have to buy singles
Do you know
as well, so it wasn't just the albums.
Oh, wow.
It's
You had the
true.
singles
I had a
as
rack
well
of
as
singles. I had a
singles
rack of
and-
albums.
yeah.
Yeah. And I had my
Man,
little CD books and everything else. But you know what? You're right what you said though, like, Scott, because you used to like you got all the information there. I used to know who wrote and who produced
Yeah.
each track. So much so that I could hear a track, a new track, and I'm like, that's produced by that's a Teddy Riley track, or that's
Yeah.
that's a Babyface that wrote that
Babyface.
song, or right. And you'd know straight away because you had all this little like research. No, man, you just say Siri, play
Play whatever.
whatever,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it just plays it.
Yeah.
And it's that easy now. You don't, and the thing is, you don't have to like make the effort to buy anything.
for sure.
You don't have to go to the shops. It used to be Woolworths, HMV.
Yeah.
And I remember when I used to, I had a little market stall job, right? And I was like 12, 13, 14 years old. And I used to when I got paid, I'd go down to, it was the little record shop. You had independent record shops. We had one called Trumps, right? And I grew up in a little place called Hoddesdon, right? And there's this Trumps. I used to go in there. I used to pre-order stuff, get things imported from America because you couldn't get them here.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I'll be going in there. Has it come in yet? He'd be like, nah, man, it's not come in yet. I keep going back every day. Is it come in yet? Yeah, it's come in. It's come in, right? And you but there was a whole, like you say, process. Now we live in a world where everything's so accessible.
Yeah,
Right?
sure.
Yeah.
There's no effort. You haven't got to like work that market stall job
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then get your money and then go to the record shop and buy it and then walk home wanting to play it because I only had a Walkman. I didn't have a CD player. That was at home, and then I had to copy it onto a tape if I wanted to listen to it on the tape. Right.
But saying that, anyone's listening to this, you know, they could be listening on Spotify, could be watching the videos on YouTube. We're lucky.
Of
We
course.
can get it across that way, right? So anyone everywhere in the world can just go, you know what? Heavyset podcast, bosh, done.
Yeah.
You know, they could be walking, doing like a 40-minute walk or something.
Yeah.
Bosh, done. They're hanging up some washing, etc.
Do you know what?
So that's not a bad thing, is it?
I feel blessed though to live through that time. Right?
True.
I feel blessed. I feel blessed because, like, you know what? We didn't have mobile phones, right?
No.
I knew
Or if we did, we used to have to one ring someone. Remember, we had no
but
credit.
You know what?
Credit.
You knew everyone's
Landline number.
Everyone's, like all your friends. You know, you had your old analog phone.
Yeah. Oh, the telephone though. That's very retro.
Hold on. So do you guys remember your own landline numbers now?
Yeah,
man,
100%.
of course.
Go for it.
No, I
Go
can't.
for it.
It's still my parents' number.
Go for it.
So I can't. I can't give it up.
Sorry.
But yes, it's still tattooed in my
I
brain.
remember mine. I remember the code 01992. Then it's 460565. I remember
This
that
is
number,
it.
man.
And remember,
0208
Yeah.
boom,
Oh,
just like
And
that.
you know what?
And you know all your mates as well.
Always.
I still remember some friends of
Yeah,
mine's
for
numbers,
sure.
right? I knew everybody's number.
Yeah.
But now you've got a mobile phone. All you need to do is remember their name.
I know, it's crazy.
Well,
A
even
lot of
sometimes
people-
it's not even their
A
name,
lot of people
right?
don't know their own telephone number.
Yeah,
that's how bad it is.
Hold on. Do you know your partner's phone? Off
No.
by heart?
Let's just stop the
No,
tape.
no,
Stop
no.
the
Oh,
tape.
we have to
You're going to
cut
start
this.
some problems.
I know.
I know the last three. Only because when Deliveroo come and I have to give the code. I know that. It's
no.
terrible. Isn't it?
Oh, no.
That's how
No.
lazy that we
It's
have,
not
we
lazy,
have
it's
become.
convenient.
I think what Si said was super relevant. I think we live in a wicked time because we're on the junction point between a very old way that has no relevance to today's youth. So kind of anyone from like probably 30 and below probably won't know what we're talking about.
No.
But we're also seeing the change, the development in technology.
Yep.
And I think our generation is very, very blessed, man.
Agreed.
To have
100%.
used dial telephones like that and to be able to tell Siri to call your mate on via WhatsApp in Jamaica or whatever,
Yep.
all in one lifetime.
Yep.
I think that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing.
Well, guys, you know what? I'm going to come and ask you another question after this really short break.
Excellent.
So just for the listeners, thank you again for listening to the Heavyset podcast. We're back. First of all, I think we should have a couple of snacks. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
You hungry?
I think I'm all right.
You all right?
Actually, yeah.
You
gonna have
doing-
one?
I'm going to have one. Of course I am.
Well,
I
go
don't
for it,
know.
man. Go for it.
You know?
I made those just for you.
Thank you very much.
Handmade.
These are wicked. So, no, just back from the break.
Yeah.
Heavyset podcast. So,
Big up.
welcome back.
Hey, hey.
There's a couple of things I just wanted to say. 2025 nowadays, right? And
Mm.
it's a good thing. Music, it just transcends all sorts of stuff. Some musicians, maybe not so much. Si, you mentioned, again, great music.
So I triggered
R.
everyone.
Kelly.
Triggered
It's
me.
just, maybe it's a trigger warning for people to listen. We should be able to talk about it because his music was cool. Obviously, the dude
course.
wasn't so much.
Of course.
And
He was
Michael
my-
Jackson,
I'm,
people
I'm,
like that.
you know, like, he was kind of one of my heroes back then, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
No, of course
Right.
not.
Of
course, no,
it had
no,
nothing
of
to do
course
with me. But look, you know, it did inspire a lot of people
Yeah.
back then.
Well, bump and grind.
But also,
How many babies were
you
made?
know what? Look, R. Kelly wrote for Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
R. Kelly wrote for Tony Braxton, Whitney Houston.
No
He
denying
wrote
the
for some of the
talent.
biggest stars.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
stop listening to their music because
Yeah.
R. Kelly wrote the music, right?
Agreed.
But
Question.
but it was
Sorry.
a big part of that era.
Yeah.
And look, regardless of what's gone on, right? And you could be controversial, whatever. There are still certain people that still changed the way things are today.
Of course.
And you know what? You
Agreed.
can't. You still have to give them some credit for what they did from a professional perspective.
Yes.
What he did in his own time.
Yes.
Yeah,
And his personal time. That was the,
Of
you know,
course,
I'm
you-
like,
I feel you trading that. I think that's relevant as well, Si. So Michael Jackson is another one. JP, you just mentioned him. Indeed. Like, let's be honest, we've got our opinions about practices in these people's personal lives. But I think it's important to draw a distinction between the art that they've created
Mhm.
and what they got up to in their own time. Michael Jackson's albums, till now, even my kids still love MJ for the music.
Yeah.
They don't need to know the background.
Of course not. Of course
They've got that ability to, because they don't have the knowledge, they can just look at it with fresh eyes, and it is great music, but it is an interesting time on a personal level. I said this just in the break when Bill Cosby went up
Oh,
in
no.
flames.
we're going to get cancelled, bro.
As a young...
We've literally mentioned 3 guys.
R. Kelly, the Trinity.
Oh, no.
But hear this, though, right?
Sorry, guys, in the comments, you can shout, I didn't have anything to do with this. JP's out of this conversation.
JP's rowing. Well,
JP's
I'm going to lean
rowing.
I don't mind the controversy. So what did Bill Cosby represent to me? Well, as a young black kid in the UK watching TV, there wasn't that many images on TV that looked like me. However, the Cosby Show, I felt like it was our thing. There you had an aspirational black family doing well, kids aspiring, that kind of wholesome family value. And as a young black kid, that was powerful to see that in a time when there was an absence everywhere else. So to hear that Mr. Cosby wasn't the most upstanding person in his own life, it was painful. But that doesn't take away what the Cosby Show represented to me and many other
Cosby
people.
Show, right?
Yeah.
It was awesome, right? Everybody watched it. Everyone loved it. Shouldn't change. Like,
yeah, it as a time capsule, it had
of course.
You've got your memories from that.
Yeah, for
obviously,
sure. And inspiration too.
Yeah. That's okay. So what? Do you guys want shovels to dig further holes?
I'm good.
It's up to you. Spoons, up to you.
I'm owning this.
This is about.
I'll die, but I'll die on this cross.
About being honest.
100%. 100%.
And look, I still listen to that music today.
Yeah.
Because I like that music.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't tell listen to Michael Jackson. I'm sorry, you're on your right.
No, listen. But it's got, but also,
of course.
It's got memories for me, right?
Yes.
It's got good memories for me. It's got good times, good eras. It's like, and that's one of the things with music, right? So there's certain songs I can listen to, right? And it's like, oh man, that reminds me of like the summer when I was like 18, 19 years old, right?
Of course, yeah.
And it reminds me of a certain club or a certain bar or certain groups of people or whatever. It reminds me of those times.
Yeah.
And you know what? We mentioned it earlier. I feel blessed to have lived through certain times, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was nice where you went out with your friends and you weren't looking at text messages. You weren't WhatsApping people. You weren't on social media.
Really
you was all present, right?
Yeah,
and you was all having a good time. You was all having a laugh. Like you can remember times when you would have all been crying of laughter over the most stupidest thing, right? Just because maybe someone's drunk and done something silly or whatever it may be. But there was times when you cried of laughter, right?
Yeah.
Now, you know what? Me and my wife would go out for a meal, right? Yeah. And if we go out on our own, it's really nice, right? Because we don't get many times with our kids. You mentioned it earlier, right? On previous. And so you really appreciate those moments, right? But we don't sit there on our phones, getting phones out. But then you look across to another table and you get people sit there and they're just facing each other, looking at, and I know you're like, and it's almost like, and for me, that's no kind of relationship, right? And that's no kind of like being those generation that's become normal life, right? And it's always a worry because I know it worries me. I know it worries my wife more, but quite often we go out for a meal and the kids are with us. You know, we do take their phones with them. Now we don't let them just go straight on their phones. It's like, well, when the meal's over and we just want to have a bit of a chat, go on your phones, boys, and you can play stuff. But you still worry because you don't want to make it the norm, right? That you do stuff. So we won't allow it at home when we're eating dinner and things like this, right? And there's certain curfews they've got because I think you've got to restrict things. But the newer generations coming through, like it's standard. Right. And that's where relationships are very different now, right? And the way people communicate is very, very different now. Actually, my oldest son said to me the other day, he was in a restaurant. He said a group of guys all came in and they all did this. There was about 7 or 8 of them, he said, and they all put their mobile phones in the middle. Everyone put their mobile phone in the middle of the table. And no one touched their phones.
Love to hear that.
And I thought, do you know what? And he said they were all probably like, you know, early 20s, things like this. I thought, wow.
They're taking that back.
But you know what? It takes one guy to go, guys, let's all just, come on, man, just have a chat. Let's all put our phones there.
Yeah.
That's something, right? If there's anybody listening. And they all know they do that. Be that guy that goes. Or even if you're in a relationship and it's you and your partner, just both of you just put your phone in the middle of the table and go, right, that's it. No one's allowed to touch their phone, right? Let's have a chat. Because people don't do that now. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I chat like we're chatting now. What's your favourite music? What's your favourite film? Just have a conversation about anything, right?
Yeah, for sure. Mrs. T and I just come back from Mykonos, as we spoke about before. Every bar, people are in the bar recording the DJ. I remember the times when you're doing nothing but raving.
Nah,
You come out
dance.
of a rave and you're wringing
Come
wet
on,
because
come
all you've
on.
been doing is
Cardio.
dancing.
That's far
It's-
better
it's-
cardio
yeah.
than a running machine.
Yeah,
That's for
100%.
sure. Come on.
And I wonder, and I do. I think about the world that my eldest is 14. I think about the world that she's growing up into, and those experiences. We talked about what music meant to us. I talked about kind of my relationship with the whole garage scene. It's just happy times, laughs with friends, meeting people, kind of learning to interact, learning to kind of talk to members of the opposite sex, and kind of doing that dance. And I don't know if that exists anymore.
No.
I
Shame.
don't know if that exists anymore, and that is a
Shame.
shame. So to hear your story, Si, about these guys kind of taking control, putting those phones in the middle, that fills me with great hope for my own children.
Yeah, of course.
Because that
But you know
human
what?
connection, that's the commodity of the future.
It's how that can become a thing,
Mm.
right?
I
And
know.
it's if that can become a thing when
Yeah.
people start going out, and it actually becomes a thing where people go, do you know what? My phone's going in the middle of the table.
Yeah, man.
We're not going to touch it, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like you need to get certain restaurants, right? Like Nando's need to have this little basket in the middle of the table,
Little
right?
Faraday cage.
But it's a mobile phone
Yeah,
basket,
yeah.
and
It's a great show.
you sit down in a restaurant and you put your phone in the basket,
Yeah.
and you have to communicate, because we were talking about it like early, when you're like phoning your friends up on your old analog phones. I used to like my wife. I used to phone her up on her like the analog phone, right? And I remember the days when I got I don't know if you remember. Do you remember? I think was it the T-Mobiles, and it was like 3 calls after 7.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that was like the contract everyone wanted. And then that contract stopped, but if you had it, you had it.
Yeah.
And there'd be people selling the contract.
That was sold dust. Yeah.
Right? I had that. But
Old school,
you'd
man.
phone people up on an analog phone. You talk for
Of
hours.
course you would.
Yeah.
You talk for hours, and you think, what did you talk about?
Yeah,
But you would talk for hours because you know what it was? We loved communicating.
Yeah.
It made us feel good. We didn't want to put the phone down. We didn't want to say goodbye. I remember when I was like a 14-year-old kid, and we'd go to like the local park, sit on the swings with our friends. We'd all just chat.
Human
No one had a
connection.
mobile phone.
Of course.
But you know what?
Of course.
They were great times.
They were.
Yeah.
They
I
were
agree.
really, really, really good
Yeah.
times. You
I
know,
think kids still have that now. They just get flooded with too much information.
you know what? There's
Just too much
distraction.
stimulus.
There's distraction, but there's the thought of missing out on something.
Yeah.
There's
Bit of FOMO.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's look, it's you can't really put your finger on it, right? But social media can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you want to look at it. But there's so many distractions now,
Yeah, of course.
right? And it's almost like it has become some kind of addiction.
Yeah.
And look, I'll even do it, right? I know the other night my missus said to me, she's like, "Who I do in my head in?" Because I'm on YouTube trying to find something, and I'm like listening to 10 seconds of this one, no, 10 seconds of that one, 10 seconds of this one, 10 seconds of this one. I must have been driving her mad.
Yeah. The attention span isn't there.
Yeah, because I'm like, if you haven't told me what I want to hear in the first 2 seconds,
Yeah,
I'm
Of
on
course.
something
Of
else.
course.
We
Yeah.
do. We want
know?
immediate gratification. And
Yeah,
on the subject of being a parent, actually, what concerns me is back in our day, whatever happened. So you mentioned going out with your pals. Maybe something embarrassing happened. All right, and we had the wind up. Remember those disposable
Oh,
cameras?
yeah.
Unless someone was
Ooh,
sharp
yeah.
with the
Oh,
camera,
yeah.
and they very rarely were.
Yeah.
Whatever moment that was can just die a death
Of course,
on the back
of
end
course.
of the night.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everything that's ever happened lives forever. I say this to my kids. Like when you share stuff, remember your digital footprint will long outlive you.
100%.
So always be mindful of what is shared.
Evidence.
In our day, we can just deny it. Plausible
No,
deniability.
no.
That doesn't exist anymore.
So I'll give you guys a story. So
Go for it.
that exact same crossover. So I was
Yeah.
best man to one of my best mates, obviously weddings.
Yeah,
best
yeah,
man to him a little while back. So my duty, as well as everything else, was to plan his stag do.
Yeah.
So we went to a particular place. Again, I'm not going to reveal anyone's names or
Judgment-free.
times or places. It's anonymous here. And I made everyone sign a contract, an NDA, if you like, right? Whatever happens
On tour.
stays on
Come
tour.
on.
And in fact, part of the signature would be, I'm going to get a Faraday bag. So if people don't know what a Faraday bag is, it blocks signals from coming in and going out.
Mhm.
So big metallic type of bag. And first day we turn up to a hotel. There's about 11 of us. And I'm like, guys, thank you very much. Signatures done. Wet signatures, by the way. Here's a copy. Here's a copy. Here's a copy.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's all banter, but it's not.
Yeah.
These are seriously binding legal documents.
Yeah.
So thank you. They're like, hey, drinks, no problems. Get that in. I'm like, phones. Some of them are like, No way.
On my
What are you
phone.
talking about? I said, no. It's only 2 days. Guys, you know your partners, your kids, whoever else you're responsible for knows you're here. It's 2 days. Give me your phones. Weirdly enough, they all handed their phones over. I thought, oh my God, I can't believe all their phones. Put it into the Faraday bag, zipped it up in the safe. Job done. As a return of the favour, I gave them the wind-up cameras. I said, whatever you want to do, it's not going to happen on the phone. You're not going to broadcast it. You're not going to check in with people. You're not going to selfie in a toilet or wherever else, right? You can only take this camera, snap, exactly.
Yeah, quite satisfying
if you know,
about that.
If you know how to use it, you use it. If you don't, you don't. Either way, then, like at the end of it, I'm going to collect it in, and then I'm going to process it. And
have an album.
Yeah, have an album. We're going to view it once and burn it. Right? So,
I love that.
It happened.
I love that.
And like you said, the pictures were terrible. People didn't know how to use it, where to use it.
Like a bit of forehead,
it was terrible.
but half a face like this.
But what it did, it just took us away from the phones.
I love that.
And it just gave people an opportunity to go, you know what, I'm going to be present. And
so
that's the
powerful.
key. And having 10 other friends with you, just talking rubbish.
Yeah.
Like just being boys again.
Oh,
boys, just, hanging around, just go, what are you up to? And you're taking a picture and you know that picture ain't going to come out right. Yeah. And just looking and staring and laughing. And then at the end, we just topped and tailed it. Like I said, we sat down, looked through the album, had a laugh. I don't know if you've seen like Hangover, that kind of vibe.
It reminds me of that.
And we were like, you know what, guys, that was cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then we went on our merry way into our normal lives. Yeah. And that's memory is the memory.
The power of being present, man.
100%.
I love that.
But you know what? Now everyone wants to show everything off.
That's very true.
Most people now take a picture and they retake a picture and they edit a picture because everyone's thinking about posting that picture, right, for everyone else to see it.
That's it.
Well, it was this personal side, right, and everyone remembers the old Kodak disposable cameras.
Oh man.
And like you'd be really disappointed sometimes because the whole thing was a blur. Right. There'd been some kind of fault with it in the exposure. Everything was blurred out. None of your pictures have come through, right? But you know what? It was good times. You know, I remember we went on a college trip to Prague when I was like, I don't know, 17 or something like that. We all had the disposable cameras. And it was just like, there's some really probably quite bad and funny stories as well at the same time.
No evidence though. That's the key.
Yeah. And I don't even know whether we'll actually show this clip.
Go there.
We have to dig this out.
When we talk about crying, there was this one kid. It was quite an annoying. It was one of those annoying ones, right? And anyway, he's staying in this room with this other guy. We're all in this room, but this guy, he's not there. But he's got his Kodak camera on the side. So anyway, we got his camera. And I'm not going to mention who did what here, right? I was just watching.
No snitching.
Anyway, this guy's gone to the toilet, right? And he's done something pretty big and large in the toilet, right? And then you've got this guy's Kodak camera and you've got this guy's toothbrush.
Oh, no.
So...
that's not good.
We're getting cancelled.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. So
we're doing so well, boys. We're doing so well.
Anyway,
tracked it back.
Apologies. If anyone's listening to this whilst eating their dinner.
Hold on. Don't mention the guy's name.
But you know what it was? Because it was one of these moments when there was like 5 of us in this room, right? And all of a sudden, the toothbrushes float in between these other things. And his camera, his Kodak camera that he's going to get the pictures out of when he gets home a few weeks later, took all these pictures of his toothbrush. Right? No. And as bad as it was, we were all on the floor crying of laughter.
Of course.
That's a horrific story.
Right?
Of course.
It's a horrific story. If you think back to when you were like 16, 17 years old, right? Because the funny thing was, and the bit that made it funny wasn't, because that weren't really that funny, but the bit that made it funny was, man, when he gets these photos developed, and he can't wait to see all these pictures of Prague and everything else that he's taken, and he's showing his mum.
I feel like so. It's a beautiful story, and whilst it's disgraceful, I don't find it at all funny.
I don't endorse
I would never.
I don't endorse the choice of music.
I would never.
Choice of toothbrushes, Kodak cameras.
Stick your Michael Jackson and poo-poo toothbrushes are wrong. However,
horrible people.
What it does speak to is that ability to delay gratification. Like what a power!
But that's what was funny.
Everything now and instantly, don't we?
That's what was funny about that, right? The funny thing is that he's going to see this after he's been using that toothbrush for at least 2 weeks. Right,
You're a bad
and
guy.
that was what.
I'm just eating a chocolate bar right now, bro.
So you need to go pray about this.
Yeah.
You need to go and pray this away, mate.
Hail Marys.
Look, I weren't perfect. No one's perfect. Right? I was
No, it's
in the
true.
wrong crowd.
It's someone else. Someone
not
else.
your dad, mate.
They were jumping off this cliff, and I did the same.
I just was hanging around with the
They
wrong
all did
people
it.
at the wrong
It wasn't
time.
me, mum.
I
It
got
was
involved
them.
in some stuff I should never have been
Oh.
involved in.
He was a naughty kid. That rolled off the tongue too easily, didn't it? All the excuses and
man.
deflections.
But it
like,
sounds like
come
we
on.
need to do some pranks with each other. Hashtag just saying.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
stay away from my
long
freaking
game.
toothbrush.
I was going to say,
Okay.
I'm not giving you any ideas there, Jason. But
Jake.
look, you know what? It just shows that we didn't have all that technology,
No,
right? And
no.
we may do what we had, but there was an element of something a bit more. You know, it wasn't like it is now when it's so easy to get things to edit things to change
There
things.
was effort.
Yeah,
Going to record shops,
that's it.
developing photos, creating tape
Yeah.
packs. There was a charm in the journey.
But it weren't
Most
perfect.
definitely.
You couldn't edit your pictures.
Yeah,
No.
Right, what
No,
came
no,
out
no,
if it
no.
was half blurred or there was a finger over the
No,
over
this
the
is it.
lens,
Yeah.
right? Or it was just someone's feet or forehead. Like there's no it's part of what made it
Yeah. It's the
funny.
memory.
It's part of what made it like you remember the things that weren't perfect more than you remember the
course
things
you
that were
Of course you
perfect.
do. No, I agree.
Jay
You know?
Pizzle, sorry, I'm aware of time, and we haven't got an insight into your musical brain. And I know you are the question master, but I think it's important that we flick these things around upon you.
Okay.
So I don't know
okay.
where we're at with time. But if you could give
Well,
us,
No, we got
are we
some.
good?
No, we got. Yeah.
Oh,
I
come
could drop in
Yeah,
a quick
you
30
tell a lot
seconds.
about a man
So,
from your Spotify playlist.
You may or may not know that I was born in Mauritius, brought up there, came to UK when I was 9. Little curly-haired kid, hardcore accent, so I've worked that out a little bit. But in Mauritius back in those days, I mean, it's to a certain extent the same now. Not a lot of money, not a lot of availability. My godmum had gone to the UK and someone had given her a Walkman, right? So she'd come back, give me the Walkman. Obviously, I had to find some batteries somewhere and also the music to put in there. But I distinctly remember a bootleg version of Michael Jackson. So again, trigger warning. I'm sorry about that. The Bad album on tape, right? On tape.
That's up
I
there,
had
mate.
that on tape, man.
On
That was one of
tape.
my
That's up
first
there. I had-
Walkman tapes.
Hold tight, I had it on record.
Ooh.
I had it on the 12 inch.
12 inch.
I think I might still have it.
12 inch.
I think it's
We're
still
gonna
at
have
mum
to
and
pop
dad's
those
in the
out.
loft.
I think you know what we probably have to do.
Do you know what I'm
First
going to
of
say?
all,
A dad
our
thing
playlist.
now. That's probably worth something.
I bet it is.
Yeah,
Do you know
probably
what?
worth
It will be.
something.
I'm gonna go loft for. I'm gonna go rifle through the loft
100%.
later on.
100%.
Yeah,
We'll
sorry to
probably-
cut you.
No, we'll drop it in for some kind of garage remix. Right?
Oh,
2-step. But no. If we maybe put it out after we're done, people's playlists, maybe we'll just create the heavy set podcast playlist. Put some of our favourite
You know,
tunes on there.
is
so
any of
people
it
can
banned though?
Is it anyone?
Yeah, good shout.
We're gonna find out.
Any of
Good
these
shout.
artists
Yeah,
been
yeah,
cancelled
We're
now?
gonna
It's
find
like,
out.
yeah.
YouTube takes it down straight away.
Find out real soon.
But no,
yeah.
I put that on. I was like, sheesh. This is
What did that do for a
magical.
young Mauritian
Yeah.
kid?
young Mauritian kid not having access to that kind of music apart from like you described it, walking past shops or other people having, some kind of music. Just putting that on is magical, man. I remember the first moment. I even remember the smell. It was my back garden. My godmum came across, gave me this thing. I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. Tiny little hands, this big black box with the silver buttons at the side.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
pop the little thing open.
Clunk.
Clink,
Oh.
clink, clink.
Yeah.
The little
The
headphone
tactility.
Living
jack.
and then it chewed up your favourite
You-
tape.
oh, you
and
know
it,
that's
you
know
right,
it.
the tape back up.
know
Yeah,
it,
that's
you know
right.
it,
You have to get the
you know it.
biro out.
Yeah,
you have to get the
biro,
biro out and
just-
unwind it.
Yeah,
all of it.
Wow.
I remember that whole, and it wasn't just, the music was superb.
Yeah.
Whatever you may or may not think, like you said before about, MJ,
Oh,
the Bad album was
It's up there.
You know what?
Come on.
it's in the
Yeah.
conversation
Come
for
on.
great
So
all the time.
that's my memory, and I sometimes put it on
Yeah.
in the quiet moments. I don't
Yeah.
blast it out just in case people will judge
Until we
me.
start putting
So
things through your
you know
Yeah,
window.
yeah, exactly. And notes.
That album, I just
Brilliant
kind of
album.
remember it because even the way Bad starts with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
Boom, 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 boom.
oh
That
yeah.
sound,
I
yeah.
mean, Quincy Jones was the
Oh,
right producer.
oh,
on that.
man.
Quincy
Maestro.
Remember the video?
in
Do you
my
remember the
opinion,
video?
Quincy Jones
The Bad
was
video.
just
The
a
Bad
genius.
video.
Oh yeah, of course.
Was Wesley Snipes in did he cameo in the video?
You know what
He
you
did, didn't
might-
he?
Yeah,
I think it's
He
got
did.
Wesley Snipes
There's a
cameo.
little garage
Yeah.
scene where it's like a black and white LCD
Underground
type
car
of-
Yeah, it's an underground car park. Yeah.
Special mention for Michael Jackson's feature-length music videos. Actually,
Hey,
the
all
world
of
will
them.
stop moving. And when I remember when Bad was first there, the music video,
Yeah.
Smooth Criminal, like everyone.
Come on, bro.
We had,
Smooth
there was 4
Criminal
channels.
was,
and
yeah,
one of,
Thriller,
one of
Smooth
the 4
Criminal,
TV
Bad.
channels was taken up to air a Michael Jackson video.
Come on.
Imagine that! What a time!
Come on, what was the one song on that album that you really remember?
The bad album. Oh, go on.
I wanna say, was Man in the Mirror now? No, was that
Man in the Mirror,
dangerous?
man, I love
Was
that.
Man in the Mirror in that album?
I think Man in the
I think
Mirror
it was.
Was that bad?
I think it was on there.
I'm gonna, because there was a transition
was
period
on
where I
there.
had Bad and Dangerous, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Both
yeah.
on tape.
I think Man in the
And I
Mirror is
used to-
bad.
Do you know what? That's one of my favourite
Man in the
songs of
Mirror
all
Man
time.
in the
just-
Mirror.
It's one of my
just
favourite
really
songs of all
Powerful
time.
song.
Really?
Yeah,
Man in the
lyrically,
Mirror.
lyrically, everything. Man in the
Brilliant
Mirror.
Yeah.
It's one of my. That's
Right.
one of my all-time favourite tunes, man. Man in
Love
the Mirror.
that.
Come on, bro.
Big shout.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
one.
Big
That's
shout.
right.
Man in the Mirror.
Man
for
in
it.
the Mirror.
I'm going to go be controversial and go Smooth Criminal.
I mean,
It's
Man in the Mirror
I'm
is
gonna-
my best Michael Jackson
it's a beautiful song.
of all time.
song of all time.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful song.
Really?
I mean, Smooth Criminal is the video, bro.
Yeah.
That's the video.
It was the whole. It
Because
was
the song makes no sense.
It was the
Annie,
song's
you
nonsense.
okay? Who's Annie?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you asking
The
about?
song's
She's
not. It's a
okay?
nonsense song.
And the
The
lean.
punchiness of the beat and that lean, that 45 degree. How many times did you try and hit that
Yeah,
45
I
degree
I still
angle?
do it now.
Oh,
But
come
Cool flat
on.
on
there's
face.
something cool
Yeah.
though, right?
Why do you think I got black eyes?
When there's something cool with that kind of beat running around with a gun.
Yeah.
You know when you was a kid. You know when you was a kid, right?
Troublemaker
The
over here. bro.
controversy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
really were a naughty kid, weren't you?
Oh,
So watch
man.
out.
Yeah.
'Cause I used to like, was it, yeah, I'm a hero. Go,
Yeah,
that one,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
There was a-
Yeah.
There was a TV show that was the theme song to. What was it? Was it Bonnie Tyler? Was it did that song?
Yeah,
Or-
it was
And I used to
What,
like,
I need a hero. I need a
Yeah.
hero.
yeah. And I used to like, I'd be at like the like, the school parties, discos, friends' birthdays. That song would come on. I was that kid doing roly polies on the floor, going
Skidding on your knees like
Yeah,
this.
that was
Wearing
me.
out your trousers.
Yeah.
Trust me, that was me. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a hero. You want
Yeah.
a piece of this?
Nothing wrong with that.
Great days, man.
You know what? We should bring them back. Let's not
Amen.
forget those times.
Look,
'cause,
Amen.
you know what?
you know.
Going on to that though, right? Is all of the good programs, right? They
Yeah.
all had memorable theme songs.
Of course they did.
Oh,
You know,
Of
like
course they did.
Fame
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
People
Special
would
mention
never,
to the Knight Rider theme tune. Let's
Yeah.
go. But arguably, best theme tune of all time. That
What, Knight Rider?
Knight Rider.
And
Do
you
you
know
not remember
what?
the theme
Yeah, of
tune?
course I do. And they got remixed.
You know
didn't
what?
they?
Busta
Again,
Rhymes.
Busta
Yeah,
Rhymes.
yeah.
Busta
I
Bus.
made a playlist that's in the car, right?
Yeah.
And every
The theme
I
tunes.
put it on because it's quite funny. But no, it's Street Hawk,
Oh, the
right?
motorbike.
Yeah, Night Rider,
Yeah.
Airwolf.
Come on.
Yeah.
Airwolf.
Airwolf.
That's a three
And
hit combo.
Magnum.
Left foot, right
And-
hook.
and
And
Magnum.
Magnum as well. Oh,
And
come
then
on.
the
You're
Miami,
covering all sorts of
Miami
forms of
Vice as
transport.
well.
Nice. They don't make
Yeah, and I think
programs like
Axel
anymore.
F made it onto there as well.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
had
It's a great
to, had
theme
to.
tune.
Well, the new Beverly Hills film, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think what we'll probably have to do, because we're going to have to wrap it up really soon, is
Cool.
maybe pause this bit, extend it to then our heroes in movies.
Oh, let's
Or
go.
who inspires us. So maybe we just wrap it up today.
Perfect.
And obviously, thank you for your time.
Appreciate
Because
you.
again,
brother.
your views, your opinions, and just the music.
Come on.
I think we need to get the people involved.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
we
yeah.
need to put out we'll share a link to our Spotify Heavyset podcast playlist.
I love that.
Get people to add to it, comment. They can like, they can subscribe.
Let's go.
They can look up and follow our channels on Instagram, certainly YouTube, everything else. And let's see if we can create a bit of community. around
Oh,
it.
let's go.
Living through music, our soundtrack to life.
How perfect.
100%.
Yeah,
I like
let's
it.
go.
I like it.
Thank you, boys.
Cheers,
Another
brother.
episode done.
Let's go.
And let's see what we can do.
Excellent. Lovely.